Believe it or not, there was a match that lasted for 3 days. That's right, you heard it correctly. 3 whole days. Wackiest and most mind-boggling tennis facts that you won't believe are real. Tennis was first played with hands. Tennis, the game of kings, is steeped in history and has evolved over centuries. Its origins can be traced back to northern France in the 12th century, where it was first known as jeu de paume, or the palm game. In those days, players used their bare hands to hit the ball, which was made of wood. It's no wonder that after a match, players' hands were left swollen, blistered, and red. It wasn't until the 16th century that the first tennis rackets were introduced, providing players with a much-needed reprieve from the painful aftermath of a game. From wooden balls to modern-day rackets, tennis has come a long way, but its rich history and tradition continue to inspire players and fans alike. Tennis balls were white until 1972. Did you know that the color of tennis balls was once a topic of debate in the world of tennis? Broadcasting tennis matches in color brought the game to life for viewers, but it also created a problem. Tracking the ball on screen became difficult, especially when it fell near the white court lines. To address this issue, the International Tennis Federation conducted a study and discovered that yellow tennis balls were easier for home viewers to see on their screens. This finding led to a historic rule change in 1972 that required all regulation balls to have a uniform surface and be either white or yellow in color. So the next time you're watching a tennis match and wondering why the ball is yellow, now you know. Fastest serve. Imagine being on the receiving end of a serve traveling at over 250 kilometers per hour or 155 miles per hour. That's exactly what happened during the 2016 Davis Cup, when John Isner, one of the hardest hitters of all time, delivered the fastest serve in tennis history. Facing off against Australian, Isner launched a blistering serve that smashed the previous world record with a speed of 253 kilometers per hour, or 157 miles per hour. It's hard to even fathom the sheer power and precision required to hit a ball that fast, but for Isner, it was just another day on the court. This incredible feat will forever be remembered as one of the most impressive moments in tennis history. The match that went 3 days. Have you ever wondered what the longest tennis match in history was? Well, hold on to your tennis rackets, because this match was so intense, it lasted 3 days. That's right, 3 days. The match took place at the 2010 Wimbledon tournament between John Isner and Nicolas Mahut, and it went on for a staggering 11 hours and 5 minutes. To put that into perspective, some flights are shorter than that. But it gets even more mind-blowing. The final set alone lasted a whopping 8 hours and 11 minutes. And the score was 70-68 in favor of Isner. That's more games than some tennis players play in an entire tournament. So if you think your tennis matches go on forever, remember that it can never be as long and epic as the Isner vs. Mahut match. The world's oldest tennis court is still in use today. If you think Wimbledon is the ultimate tennis destination in London, you might be surprised to learn about the world's oldest tennis court, which is still in use today. The Royal Tennis Court located at Hampton Court Palace dates back to the 16th century, where it was a favorite of King Henry VIII, who was an avid tennis player.
This particular court here was built in
1601.
1601.
So it's the oldest sports place in France.
In fact, legend has it that he received news of his wife's execution while playing tennis on the court. But don't expect a typical game of tennis on this court. It's played according to an ancient set of rules and techniques, known as real tennis, which is quite different from the modern version we know today. If you're ever in London, a visit to the Royal Tennis Court can transport you back in time to the origins of this beloved sport. Shortest Grand Slam final ever? 34 minutes. When it comes to tennis, there are some matches that are so unforgettable, they're etched in the minds of fans forever. And one such match is the 1988 French Open final between Steffi Graf and Natasha Zvereva. It was a match that showcased Graf's sheer dominance and left Zvereva with no chance to even score a single game. Graf's flawless performance that day was simply awe-inspiring, resulting in a stunning 6-0, 6-0 victory that lasted for only 34 minutes. It was a complete beatdown that left tennis fans speechless and solidified Graf's place in the history books as one of the greatest players of all time. So if you're looking for an example of pure tennis brilliance, look no further than the unforgettable Graf-Zvereva match at the 1988 French Open. The scoring system is based on the clock face. Have you ever wondered why tennis scores are measured in such a peculiar way? The origins of the 15, 30, and 40 scoring system are shrouded in mystery, but one popular theory suggests that it's based on a clock face at one end of the court. As the minute hand moves around the clock, the first point is scored. Then it strikes the first quarter mark, which corresponds to 15. The second point is scored when the hand strikes the second quarter mark, which is 30. And the third point, which used to be 45, was shortened to 40 because saying 45 was too time-consuming for players and spectators alike. So the next time you're watching a tennis match, you can impress your friends with your knowledge of this quirky fact about the sports. Jimmy Connors has won the US Open on 3 different surfaces. Jimmy Connors, one of the greatest tennis players of all time, accomplished something that no one else has even come close to achieving. He won the US Open not once, not twice, but on 3 different surfaces: grass, clay, and hard court. Connors' incredible versatility and adaptability on different surfaces made him a true tennis legend and cemented his place in history as one of the all-time greats of the game. It's a feat that may never be matched again. A 13-year-old has competed at Wimbledon. In the world of tennis, age is just a number, and Mita Klima proved it right. In 1907, this young Austrian tennis prodigy made her way to the legendary Wimbledon tournament, becoming the youngest player ever to do so. At just 13 years of age, Klima stepped onto the hallowed grass courts, ready to take on the world's best. Despite her remarkable achievement, fate was not in her favor that day, and she was eliminated in the very first round. Nonetheless, Klima's legacy lives on, inspiring generations of young tennis players to chase their dreams no matter how young or old they may be. The tennis ball only stays in play for 20 minutes in a standard match. Have you ever wondered how long a tennis ball is actually in play during a standard 2.5-hour match? Well, prepare to be amazed because the answer is only about 20 minutes. That's right, the ball is in a state of the moment for a mere fraction of the total match time. It seems the pros certainly know how to take their time and make the most of those breaks in the middle of the match. So the next time you're watching a game of tennis, keep an eye on the ball and marvel at just how little time it spends in action. So there you have it, folks, the weirdest tennis facts that will make you go, "What the deuce?" We hope you enjoyed the video as much as we did making it. Who knew that tennis could be so strange and surprising? And if you're a tennis player yourself, maybe you can use these facts to impress your friends and opponents. Please smash that subscribe button for more crazy sport facts. Bye-bye.